Hello everybody and welcome to another Draft League video. I'm ChouRaven, and this week in the International Draft League, my opponent is CJ and the Galarian Phoenixes. This team is decently straightforward, I'd think, but then again, after the last few weeks and all of my losses this season, I wouldn't assume anything at the moment. In this case, I see the Nalago and the Tapu Koko at very least, probably going to be a slight issue. Just because of the two of them, I feel like Charizard and Ninetales aren't the best option this time around because both of the above outspeed them, and both of the above could probably one-shot Charizard. So there's almost no point in even bringing them, so I'm not going to. And aside from that, my offensive on this one is going to have to center pretty hard around Landorus, just because he's the only one who resists most of the things in question here and can actually dish out some damage. The problem with that sentence is the Mamoswine, which is probably capable of one-shotting Landorus no matter what I do. So we're going to have to play this a little carefully. Going to make use of what I got, and I won't take up any more of your time. Here comes the match. I'll see you later for post-commentary. Hey guys. Sorry about this, but it looks like my capture card messed up about halfway through the recording, so I've borrowed the footage from CJ, so we'll be seeing things from his point of view for this, and I'll just be doing commentary over it. Sorry for this. Hopefully we'll be back and ready to go next week. Okay. So for this matchup, I ended up grabbing Wartortle, Landorus, Comfey, and Porygon Z. Thinking about all this, just kind of my main worry here is the Moltres and the Tapu Koko, because Tapu Koko can discharge and set off the weakness policy and potentially Berserk. And then Nihilego is a little bit of an issue in the background, but I wasn't as worried about it at the time here. And as you can see, he's picked the Mamoswine because he sees what I was doing with the Landorus probably. And his last match, I don't even know who he picked as his last on this round, because I never got that far, but we'll see. Evil. Okay. Alright, let's just get right into this one. I love my Mr. Mime sweater. It's great. The ultimate Pokemon ugly Christmas sweater. Out comes Wartortle and Landorus, and he starts with his Tapu Koko and Moltres. The Electric Surge is kind of an issue for Wartortle because I kind of use Yawn plenty on him. And there's Landorus's Intimidate, which does nothing in this situation because both are special attackers. Considering what to do for this one. This is my first little mess up of this whole match right from turn one. He's going right for his combo, but I decided to, I faked out the Tapu Koko. Unfortunately, I chose to target the Moltres. Which, at the end of the day, was not a smart move. And you'll see why in about a second. Dynamaxes the Moltres. Okay, Wartortle fakes out the Tapu Koko to stop it from setting up the combo. And then this happens. Moltres just sorta tanks it. Which unfortunately, as a super effective attack, sets off his weakness policy, and because he gets dropped below half health, his ability goes off too, and this Moltres is now +3. Doesn't kill Landorus, but honestly, Tapu Koko outspeeds me. So at this point, I was sitting there knowing I screwed up, and Tapu Koko was about to murder Landorus on the next turn. Yeah, the Dazzling Gleam to finish off Landorus, and there's basically no chance of Wartortle going next here. So, Max Airstream at +3 into my Wartortle doesn't end well, obviously. Take a little bit of damage from my Sandstorm, but it's not going to be enough to really do anything for me. And out comes what's left in the back. A very squishy Porygon Z that can't outspeed either of its opponents, and Comfey, who, well, let's just say round one obviously didn't go great, but he learned during the next couple rounds what Comfey is good at. And with Ally Switch, Comfey gets taken out instead of Porygon Z. Just kind of a last-ditch attempt to see if I could pull something out of my ass, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And with that light screen he just put up, he really kind of screwed me out of that. And of course, as previously stated, that +3 speed, +3 attack Moltres ain't no chance of Porygon Z going first or surviving. So round one ends with an unfortunate L. He didn't want to tip his hand on the Feeble just yet. But he knew I probably realized he was bringing the Mamoswine, so he brings it out anyways. And that's round one. Kind of an unfortunate loss, but I realized pretty immediately what I was doing wrong after that one, and I corrected myself this time around. For round two, I put the same start out, because I didn't think I had much better I could do for the opening gambit. Wartortle and Landorus. And in the background, Comfey, and this time I brought Lurantis instead of Porygon. Just figured, considering all the threats on the enemy side of the field, Lurantis was probably my best bet. Porygon really couldn't do anything if the other guy got set up at all. But if Comfey could get off the Trick Room, something could be pulled out. Just like I did against Kanon earlier in the season. He's sitting here this time thinking about it. He knows that his main combo can wipe out Landorus pretty easy, but he ends up just bringing Mamoswine anyway, just because. Yeah. So this time, I realized targeting the Moltres with a max Rockfall is a horrible idea, because I had been hoping first round that one-shots. I knew now at this point that it did not. So the only thing to do is to try and wipe out the Tapu Koko while he's faked out. Unfortunately, as you can see from the screen here, CJ kind of figured that that was the decision I had come to, and so he immediately swapped out Tapu Koko for something else. Actually, not really sure whether he figured that I was just going to fake it out anyway and leave it alone, so it was a free turn to switch in, or if I was going to target Tapu Koko hard and try and kill it, but either way, out came out Thievul. Wasn't expecting it. Got a little bit of a defensive boost because of the electrical seeds. And he Dynamaxes the Moltres again, which, once again, not a bad strat. Dynamax Moltres can survive a lot of things. And if it gets set up enough, if you can get its weakness policy to go off, if you can get Berserk to go off, oh man, is it going to wreck somebody's day. Anyways, yeah, Wartortle fakes out Thievul. This time I go for the Max Quake, because I was aiming for Tapu Koko, but I get Thievul instead, and it doesn't quite KO. But I also give the team a special defense boost, which can kind of help against this. But with that special defense boost, and without setting off all of Moltres' boosts beforehand, the Max Airstream doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Gives me a second turn to work with here with Landorus. Only problem, this time I was going to try and finish off. I wasn't too worried about the Thievul initially here. That was definitely a mistake. I was more worried about letting that Moltres potentially get set up, because I don't know what's on the Thievul set. I really should have just destroyed it before anybody had a chance to do anything. Yeah, Wartortle just helping-handed the Landorus to try and get a big attack off, but Thievul's speed goes off 2. And yeah, with Landorus' special defense down 2 stages, and Moltres getting a crit, Landorus goes down, unfortunately, a little bit early, which kind of wrecked my whole plan at this point, but if you haven't recognized what I had in my team, if you didn't see the match against Kanon, Greer's returning at this point, and familiar little combo was about to come out. I don't think he had seen my video of my match against Kanan, but I don't know why this is the best combo on this team, but it really is. Two supports out on the field together somehow lets me just stall the entire match away. And yeah, Comfey's priority Drain Kiss on the Feeble can take it out before it does anything. Moltres here is still lacking in any of its boosts, so I'm not as concerned about it right now, though it is still doing a lot of damage. But yeah, Wartortle pulls the Yawn, because there's no reason for Comfey to be healing anything, so it's kind of a wasted turn for anything other than trying to put the opponent to sleep. And with that electric terrain still down, wasn't much I could do except sleep the Moltres. So the Moltres is no longer Dynamaxed. And we go into the familiar little stall combo while I try and wait for that Yawn to go off. He Dazzling Gleams the two of them. The Moltres is now not Dynamaxed, and its big dark attack is now a dual hitting move. So it's got split damage and not doing as much, so I wasn't quite as worried about damage output. But time to go for the safe combo anyway. Well, maybe I was a little worried about damage. I forgot that I ally switched there. Wasn't expecting the dual double hitting move. And then I forgot about electric terrain stopping sleep. So Moltres falls asleep because it's in the air and not touching the ground. Tapu Koko is immune for the time being. And out comes the combo that ended up winning me the match against Kanan. The Helping Hand Draining Kiss. This does a lot of damage against Moltres because it's super effective. Which means I got a decent amount of HP back doing that. But if Moltres hadn't been asleep, I would have been absolutely destroyed. So it was kind of a Hail Mary at this point. Dazzling does some damage. At this point, I'm still slightly concerned about the amount of health on Comfey. If I went for Trick Room, Tapu Koko could probably destroy it in a single hit, but I had to try and keep Comfey alive as long as possible, maybe even get the KO on Moltres in the process. There's that help. There's that Drain Kiss again. Sets off the Berserk this time. Still did damage, but now that the terrain's gone, Tapu Koko gets yawned. Then he decides to go for the Volt Switch instead, because he doesn't want Tapu Koko falling asleep quite yet. And that priority Drain Kiss once more. Moltres barely survives. That's okay. I was ready for that. And I I just wanted to make sure it died before it woke up. And Tapu Koko Volt switches. Only possible because he still has Mamoswine in the back, even though he only had the 2 Pokemon left. So if he had waited a single turn longer, he wouldn't have been able to pull that off. Out comes Mamoswine. Tapu Koko comes back out, obviously, resets the terrain. He just wants to end the Comfey at this point. Keep in mind how many turns Comfey and Wartortle have managed to survive at this point. Both of them. Even though he's not really targeting Wartortle at this point, he keeps trying to kill the both of them. And both keep living and healing and killing his team. He's just getting a little bit aggravated with my little stall combo here. And I've still got a Pokemon in the back. But he's starting to get a little concerned here. And obviously I went for the Helping Hand Drain Kiss again. This time I don't have the ability to super effective anything. But it doesn't matter. The Tapu Koko was my target. At this point I had more or less deduced, because I hadn't seen it try it yet, that the Tapu Koko probably doesn't have Protect. And looking at his screen right now, obviously I was correct. So, now that Mamoswine had protected once, obviously he probably wasn't going to try it twice in a row, but it doesn't matter. I've seen how much damage I can do to the Tapu Koko, who probably doesn't have Protect as far as I'm seeing. So I'm just going to keep doing the damage. Keep getting my health back. Mamoswine goes for the priority Ice Shard. Not quite enough damage. He probably figured that was going to do a lot more than it did, so he didn't target all in on Comfey, which just saved me even more. Also at that point, Protect on the Mamoswine really wasn't a good idea on his part. After all that, why would I aim for the Mamoswine instead of just going for the Tapu Koko again? If he had just focus fired Comfey, he probably would have been able to pull something out, but instead, he just takes the turn, drops a light screen to try and have his Mamoswine take less damage. He was probably assuming that I had the Porygon Z in the background again, and was just trying to set up the screen before his Koko went down, because guaranteed it was going down this turn. There wasn't a lot he could do about that. Squirtle with the Aqua Jet. It's a physical attack, not a special, so it goes through the light screen without really getting affected by it. And this turn, with only one Pokemon left on the opponent's side of the field and enough health on Comfey, I made the easy choice considering who I had in the background. Do an extra little bit of damage with Wartortle because it's super effective. He's going to high horsepower Wartortle. Sucks. Wartortle goes down finally. About time. Comfey safely gets its Trick Room off. And out comes the queen of my team. Comeback queen herself, Lurantis. Which he's sitting here going, well, I have priority ice move. I can down that thing, right? before it can do anything. Easy target, easy target. Comfey just goes to get some of its health back in the meantime. Doesn't do a whole lot to Mamoswine comparatively to what it was doing to everything else, because it's a bit tankier. Mamoswine gets its Ice Shard off. Doesn't quite kill Lurantis, even with a crit. And Lurantis just sits there and taps that thing out of existence. With a crit of its own. Now, by this point, on my end of things, I was laughing and basically calling that I was going to lose round 3 because this guy was about to go serious mode on me for pulling that on him in round 2. And sure enough, looks like it, because he didn't even bother bringing Mamoswine this time around. He grabbed Nihilego instead. The one Pokemon on his team I was really concerned about. He's just sitting there going, no chance is taken. But now I really had his team on lock. Understood what he was doing. Got a general feel for his play style. This round is going to have a lot less cups from me. But, you know, he also now knows about my stall combo and how dangerous Wartortle can be, not just Comfey. But in this case, last time he'd swapped Coco for Thievul. I was kind of considering that he might just do that again. But at the same time, I was just sitting there like, do I really take the chance on that? If he does use Tapu Koko and he discharges or whatever and sets off Moltres' thing, then I'm in trouble because he'll just start one-shotting everything. So I just said no chances taken and focused all in on the Koko again. Didn't really matter. I had a backup plan in case he did this. Because now I know what the Thievul does after round 2. And the answer to that is the exact same thing that my Cinccino and my Ninetales do, which is Outspeed and Fake Tears. So Landorus gets the Dynamax again, this time with a lot better idea of what he's doing. I get the Fake Out again. Landorus goes in for the Max Quake. Same as before. Get that special defense buff. That's all kinds of important here. But rather than Dynamax this turn, he went for the Nasty Plot on his Moltres just to get that damage up. Because he knew I probably wasn't setting him up this time. And he goes for the Fake Tears. This time it looks like he's a little more wanting to get rid of the Wartortle as he's focusing all in. Obviously, I got him a little spooked after round 2. I mean, it's just an Eviolite Wartortle. There's nothing really special about it. He's just got a really good support set. I mean, there's a lot of better ones, but this is what I got. I needed something low tier. Anyways, this time I wasted no time and used Wartortle's priority attack to kill Thievul before it could do anything. And then let Landorus launch a Max Airstream of his own to start competing with the speed boosts that Moltres was going to start dropping. And Moltres might be sitting on +2 here, But Wartortle is a deceptively tanky little bastard. Especially with that Eviolite on. As he sends back out the Tapu Koko. Which isn't necessarily the greatest idea, but I didn't play off this the way I should have. Yeah, he decided to take a turn in Max Guard to make sure I couldn't do anything. Yeah. I realized after the fact I probably shouldn't have gone for the Moltres. I figured that with that +2 attack, special attack, it was going to become an issue. So I just went for the Max Rockfall to finally take it out because Airstream had done enough damage. What I should have done is I should have just focused all in, knowing that Koko didn't have Protect. I should have just Max Quaked it. It probably would have died before it got a chance to do anything, and I would have probably been in a much better spot for this match. Live and learn. Oh well, without the added HP from its Dynamax, Landorus probably wasn't surviving things very well. Especially not after I did this. Figured maybe that would do it. No, it doesn't do as much as the Max Rockfall would have. And once again, I set off all of Moltres' bonuses. So now that Moltres is effectively sitting at +5 special to its special attack. Landorus just gets erased. And Koko tries to Dazzling Gleam the Wartortle, but we've already seen how little damage that does to that thing. Anyways, out comes the familiar combo. He already knows what this does, and he's fresh out of Dynamax on his Moltres. Now, I feel like in this scenario, he knew what was coming. I mean, how could he not after the last time? But for whatever reason, he chose not to Protect. I guess maybe he figured Moltres might tank it with at least a couple HP left. But that's not the way that went down. And I just priority attacked Moltres out of existence before it could do anything this turn. And Tapu Koko set up its light screen because it's worried about all that damage that Comfey is doing. Yeah. Out comes the Nihilego, which unfortunately is not something I am horribly well equipped to deal with at the moment. Especially with his screens up, both of them. So I'm sitting there. I'm pretty sure this turn I just went Comfey's at full health. Gotta chance it. Gotta try and Trick Room. Koko doesn't do a whole lot of damage. You just gotta sit and pray and hope that Comfey can tank through this turn. Unfortunately, never underestimate the power of a Power Herb Meteor Beam. Nihilego. He just wanted to erase Comfey from existence this turn, and sure enough, Comfey cannot tank through all of that damage. Unfortunate. gives the thing a little extra special attack, so it's effectively a +3. I knew it was going to be a problem, so I yawned it, but that requires me to be able to survive the next turn long enough to, do anything. Which would have been a great time for Lurantis to use Protect and survive for a turn. Unfortunately, that is an Assault Vest Lurantis, and therefore I don't have Protect because I can't use it. So it's just kind of an unfortunate moment where I was sitting there hoping that my fully special defense invested Lurantis, or actually fully HP invested Lurantis with its high special defense and its Assault Vest, might be able to survive special attacks with a little bit of HP. Unfortunately, super effective Sludge Bomb is the thing. And Lurantis goes down. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But oh well. You win some, you lose some. Mostly I'm losing some. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching this. Once again, sorry about the footage. I'm gonna forego my usual post-game commentary on this one because, well, this entire segment has been post-game commentary for me on this. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you like seeing this content, and check me out on Twitter at ChouRaven. Thank you guys very much. Peace.